All right, welcome everybody. My name is Michael Duarte. I'm actually wearing two hats today. I am the CEO of Better Opportunities Builder, and I'm also the Chief Real Estate Officer at Fresno Housing Authority. I think later today we have a few t-shirts to give out, and you will see something on the back of them. It says, "What about Bob?" It's a little acronym that stands for Better Opportunities Builder. Bob the Builder, as we call it, but around the office we just call it Bob. And so I think it was Brandy here who said, "Who's Bob?" And it's not a person. Bob actually started off, was formed in 1984 by the Fresno Housing Authority and was named Housing Assistance Corporation, HAC. And it wasn't a cool name. It's like hack. It's like you had something in your throat. So in 2005, we changed the name to Better Opportunities Builder. Bob is staffed by and supported by the Fresno Housing Authority team. And a little bit of history on Bob, that it's in around 1998, it started to get involved in low-income housing tax credits and partnering with other developers, primarily here in Fresno County, but also throughout the state of California. We have a couple partnerships up in the Bay Area in the city of Oakley, and have other ventures in Stanislaus County as well. Bob actually helped the Housing Authority get started within this low-income housing tax credit world, if you will, development world, which the Housing Authority has much success now. But around that time, 2007, 2008, it started off with applying for tax credits, and to be competitive for that program, you have to demonstrate experience, at least on paper, have experience. And that's where the Housing Authority partnered with Bob that had these other partnerships in the past and was able to compete for credits. And then several years later, the Housing Authority certainly can do that and is very capable to do that independently. The Bob board consists of up to 11 members. 3 members are appointed by the Housing Authority board. I'd like to start off by thanking a couple of our board members, Mr. Edward Stacy, which you will hear about a little bit more from him later today. Ms. Yolanda Randles, I believe, is not here. Commissioner Kyle Cheney is here. Thank you, Kyle. Our CEO, as well as on the board, Tyrone Roderick Williams. Ken Neufeld, who I believe is not here. Is he here? Oh, there you are, right in front of me. I also want to recognize Mr. George Finley that served on the Bob board for over 25 years as board chair and has recently resigned due to health purposes, but we would certainly want to give him much credit for his leadership. And last but not least, the late Chris Cummings that served on our board for many, many years. So we want to thank and acknowledge him as well. I want to start by thanking the city of Fresno, Mayor Dyer. Thank you for your support here. Phil Sky in the back, working. Also Councilmember Arias for your support. I remember walking this property 5-6 years ago with you as we're thinking about the site. As well as all the city staff. I also want to thank the Fresno Housing Authority team, our development team led by Christina Stokes Johnson, just around here somewhere. Hey, Christina. And the rest of the Housing Authority team, please stand. There's so many of you. JC, I see you here, our accounting and finance team that all support the work that we do. Thank you all. I also want to thank our contractor, Devin Beatty, DL Beatty, sitting in the back with his team. Also the project architect, Paul Miller with the Vernal Group. There he is in the back. And one of our banking partners, Tri-Counties Bank, is the lender at this property as well. Thank you. A little bit about our development here, Mosiac at the Mural District. It is led by Better Opportunities Builder as a commitment to adaptive use and innovation in affordable housing. This property once was a motel, probably last operated in the 1970s, and today we begin the transformation into high-quality adaptive reuse to create workforce housing. One of the key initiatives, I mentioned earlier that Bob led the way into the Housing Authority's low-income housing tax credit developments. And this is really, I think, part of the future of affordable housing as well. And it really is we strive to lower our development cost, increase flexibility in how we do affordable housing, and just try to create new creative ways of doing development. This one in particular is special. It is attributed to efficiency, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Next door is Villages at Broadway. It's 27 units, and it involves a different variety of funding sources from the state, including tax credits. This one's a little bit more nimble, if you will. It has investment from the city that we'll learn more about today, and investment through our nonprofit Better Opportunities Builder. And it's a pretty vanilla deal with the goal of reducing cost. This project's being developed about 50% of the cost of next door, and they're very, very comparable. And so that's another way to achieve affordability is through cost reduction, and that's really what we're testing here today. For those of you that like the numbers, that's $188,000 a door. The affordability here will range at 60 to 80% AMI or below. For one person, that means $37,000 to $50,000. And so that fits a lot of the entry-level positions in downtown, and that's why it's important for us to develop here where you can work, play, and enjoy different entertainment and employment opportunities. So thank you for that. With that, I would like to invite our great mayor, a champion for housing, Mayor Dyer.
Thank you, Michael. It's always an honor to be able to share the podium with you and Tyrone. And I guess it's Fresno Housing, but it's now Bob that we're partnering with as well today. So it is a pleasure to be here today as we partake in a little different groundbreaking. I understand we're going to use, instead of shovels, we're going to use sledgehammers to knock down some doors. But it's a special day to be here at the Mosiac at the Mural District. Projects like this create an incredible amount of momentum and excitement for the downtown area. And I'll talk a little bit about that shortly, but excitement that we really need, because recently we lost a project that Councilmember Arias and I worked hard for, student housing downtown. Ultimately, it's going to go up by Fresno City College. I don't blame the board for that decision, but we were hoping for a much different outcome because it would have allowed for 412 beds in downtown Fresno, specifically at South Stadium. But we know that we're in a housing crisis, not only in the nation, but right here in Fresno. And the reason for that housing crisis is that the demand for housing far exceeds the availability of the housing stock. And when that happens, a number of things happen. Prices go up on rents. People are unable to achieve the all-American dream of owning their own home. And potentially there's an increase in unsheltered population on our streets as a result of all of that. So projects like the Mosiac are desperately needed, and they help meet that crisis head on. And providing 12 or 25 units that are studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom doesn't seem like a lot, but quite frankly, it helps us to be able to meet that demand in our city. And the housing project, this one particularly, is designed to accommodate workforce, those in the workforce. And oftentimes we have people out there that earn too much to qualify for low-income housing, but they really don't make enough to be able to get into the market rate housing. And so this project here, the Mosiac, eliminates that dilemma. The city of Fresno is proud to have committed of American Rescue Funds $1.9 million towards this project, as well as a impact fee waiver of $147,000. And I will say that more than $2 million is more than just an investment in this development project. It is investment in the families who will raise their children here, and it is an investment in the future of those folks that will live here in this particular area. As I mentioned earlier, what makes this project extra special is it is in downtown Fresno. And we need more housing in downtown Fresno. We need more people living here. because most downtowns ultimately end up being 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 and not having a lot of activity at nighttime and on the weekends. And what we need are thousands and thousands of more people that are living downtown to stimulate that nightlife, to create that vitality in a downtown area, because we all know that great cities have great downtowns, and projects like the Mosiac will help us to have a great downtown. So again, that is what we need here. And so it gets us one step closer to having that great downtown, and I'm appreciative of all the work that we're doing in furtherance of that. So thank you for the partners involved, for Bob, for Fresno Housing. And now I'd like to turn the microphone over to the District 3 Council Representative, Miguel Arias. Miguel?
Thank you, Mayor. Michael, Mayor and I usually have a competition during these groundbreakings on doing stuff that you're not asking us to do. So I just did notice the red tape though and asbestos being treated. So Mayor, we can't be taking the sledgehammer to that building. Just FYI. Our insurance is not that good at City Hall, so we'd probably end up with a big bill. As Michael noted, him and I met and walked this space about a little more than 6 years ago. At that time, it was a burned down motel, and it required some convincing to have somebody from housing, envision a burned down motel that was an epicenter of human trafficking and drug trafficking in downtown for decades, to envision something new and different and more sustainable. For the housing geeks, the word is called adaptive reuse, where you take something that's being underutilized, invest some dollars in it, and make it something useful and sustainable for modern demands. I like to call it getting rid of the trash and replacing it with jewels. And we've done that in downtown Fresno. The Housing Authority has been a partner, so the commissioners, thank you for that. When I got on the council, there was this urban legend that the city shouldn't partner with the Housing Authority because the Housing Authority only focus on housing the extremely poor and only through subsidized housing. Since then, the Housing Authority has been the leader in developing new projects from the ground up in Chinatown with the Monarch, in renovating existing buildings like this one, in building homeownership opportunities that are single family for families who are building the houses themselves and helping build communities around them. And you've continued to be a voice for those who are constantly and too easily attacked by those who don't know what it's like to need a helping hand when it comes to being housed in our community, in our country. Today, we need the Housing Authority's advocacy more than ever before. It's too easy for some folks to attack those who are receiving a helping hand when it comes to housing. And it's too lazy, in my view, for them to even understand the complexities of developing housing. As has been noted by Michael, the numbers, they do matter. When we build something new from the ground up, the cost to the city is $500,000 per door. That's the cost for permanent affordable housing. Yet, your team has been able to pull it off for a 50% discount. That means that the savings are not to the city of Fresno taxpayers, it's to the residents who are going to be able to live here and not have to give up the cost of their medication, skip a meal, or invest in their kids and their school supplies. So I want to thank you for the creativity of using Bob as a vehicle for that work, but more importantly, for continuing to focusing on our aligned efforts and agenda as a city. This is one of the many motels that we have taken out of operation as epicenters for human trafficking and drug trafficking, and invested money and made them sustainable housing for families to come back and live in our neighborhoods. We've done that up and down with you in Parkway. I'm sure we'll open the next project in a couple months here. We're doing this in downtown. We're taking previously contaminated grounds in West Fresno, building single family affordable. Across the city, the Housing Authority has been a champion and has evolved with the needs of its communities and its city. And for that, I thank you for this thankless job at times. I appreciate the mayor and being able to carry out the work and making sure you get through the planning process, waiving all the fees as an infill development project, and being a champion even to some of the Republican voices that I'm sure won't listen to me, but they'll listen to him. And with that, I want to say I'll be here in November when you guys finish on schedule, contractor, I'm hearing. No pressure. but you guaranteed a completion date of November, so I'll be around here for Thanksgiving to welcome new families up and around that time. And thank you again for making sure those markers are really clear for us, you know, not so bright people not to go in there and get exposed to asbestos. Thank you all for the time.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Miguel. Next, I want to invite Elliot Balch to say a few things about what it means for downtown.
Thank you, Mike. It's great to be with you all today. I think my role is to just, on behalf of our tapestry, our mosaic that is the downtown Fresno community, to thank Fresno Housing and Bob and welcome this project into our downtown. As has been said, you know, this project, Housing in Downtown, is about bringing downtown to life, but it's also about bringing life to downtown, specifically the lives of people who will be shaped by having the opportunity to have good housing. I'm struck by the fact that some of our own team members at the Downtown Fresno Partnership live just within a couple of blocks of this area. So for sure, when you say that folks will be able to live and work and play in downtown Fresno, we already see that that's the case. So how exciting, and great to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Elliot. And so for downtown, we're doing our piece, Mayor. There's 10,000 units that are going to be built. So now it's 9,975 to go. Next, I want to invite one of Bob's board of directors, Mr. Edward Stacy. He's also the former executive director at the Fresno Housing Authority. Come on up.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, I worked with 5 different administrations as executive director, and you are the one that has supported affordable housing more than any other mayor. Thank you very, very much. I was one of the founders of HAC, which Michael made fun of, the Housing Assistance Corporation. And I guess it would make me the senior board member, being still involved with HAC, as with Bob. What I wanted to talk about is kind of what happened here in this area. If you'd driven through this area 25 years ago, you would have seen vacant storefronts, vacant land with debris on it, a few struggling businesses, but it was really not the kind of place you wanted to spend much time in. And at that time, I, as executive director, was meeting with city staff and with the redevelopment agency, and we were all trying to come up with how do we change it? How do we make a difference? And we always ran across the major hurdle, which was if you don't have the services downtown, people won't move in. If you don't have the people, the services won't come downtown. Chicken or the egg. And finally, after multiple meetings, the Housing Authority stepped forth and said, I think it was to save me because I was really getting frustrated with it, stepped forth and said, you know what, we will put out $1 million incentive for the first developer that built in this district. And from that, and the money was passed through to the Housing Assistance Corporation, HAC, and they eventually ended up for partnership with the Assimi Corporation, the Assimi Group. And the first project was built, which was the Vagabond Lofts, I guess it was called. And it was, I would be remiss if I said that it was a success right off the bat. It wasn't. There were about 2 or 3 years where it really struggled. And eventually the word got out. Young people who were artists, who were interested in micro businesses, started to move into the development. And over time it filled up. And guess what? I think it surprised everybody. We had a waiting list. And after that, Assimi then came in and built another development in the area. And he has continued to build developments in the area. HAC, when it was called HAC, partnered with the CB, and from that we learned something. We learned that one of the ways to develop housing was partnerships, that we needed to partner with those people, whether it was the private sector or the city or the county or nonprofits, other nonprofits in the area, in order to produce housing and to produce affordable housing. In addition to what HAC was involved in this area, it also, with the Housing Authority issuing tax-exempt notes, bought 2 already built developments that were smaller in size, around 30 units, and went forward from there. They also partnered with a private developer to repurchase and rehab the old Clovis Community Hospital. Later on, they developed the Sanger Seniors Project and also developed a project on the Fig Garden Loop in Fresno. And Villa Del Mar, which is just off of Blackstone Avenue in Del Mar. Then because of what we were doing, we decided, and this, you were right, people would say, what's heck? Is it something like pneumonia that I'm going to catch, or what is it? And we decided we'd better change the name. And we had a lot of input from staff and from other people, and what they came up with was Better Opportunity Builder. And it said, I think it said what we hadn't been doing. Before we had talked about assisting, now it was time to build and create opportunities for the residents of what we did create. And so with the name change, along came the Phoenix on Calavera Street, project in Kerman, other projects were built around in other communities, and we got very heavily involved in tax credit program. We were able to partner with many different developers to continue to create affordable housing units. I think the key to Bob's success is, number one, is partnerships, that you can't do it alone. You've got to partner with those that are out there that share your views and that want to see change. The other key is, I think, that the staff, that over the years that Bob has had a fabulous staff. They really are committed to creating affordable housing and communities that are vibrant and at work. I don't know what that is. So I guess that basically ends my remarks. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Stacy, for highlighting some of Bob's work in the early days, but those properties that we've been partners with here in the downtown include he mentioned the Vagabond Lofts, 8th Street Lofts, Ironbird Lofts, City View at Van Ness, the Phoenix Glen, and Calaveras. So Bob has a long history in downtown, and particularly investing in this particular neighborhood. Next, I'd like to invite Tyrone Roderick Williams.
Well, I happen to be, as he said, the CEO of Fresno Housing, but I'm also the secretary and treasurer for Bob as well. So I am proud to be able to stand here and participate in this. What we're going to do today isn't just about the groundbreaking, but it's about creating an expanded opportunities for individuals who are looking for affordable housing. We are committed to sharing the reality that people who need affordable housing are at a broad range on the income scale. As Miguel shared, there's oftentimes people think, well, it's only the low income. But we are committed at providing a wide range. And this is another example of us being able to provide workforce housing in the downtown. So it's a great reminder that we never do this work alone. Our elected officials are key partners. We just heard about how important it is to do development with partners, and I'd just like to take the time. We are honored to welcome some of our representatives and representatives from their offices to be here with us today. We have a representative from Senator Ana Caballero. Could you come stand, please? Representative from Congressman Jim Costa. Office of Assemblyman Dr. Joaquin Marambula. All of you, come on stand. This is a photo op. Come on and stand. We appreciate the great work and support from the city. We appreciate the great work and support from the county. But we've got friends in Sacramento, and we've got friends in Washington, D.C. And together with their support, they really help us be able to move and provide funding at the state and at the national level. Recently, we heard that the state's got a $12 billion budget, so a budget deficit. So we'll have to work a little bit closer on that side. Even as we speak, the House Rules Committee is reviewing the budget at the federal level, and that seems to be some storm clouds gathering there. But we're glad to have partners, and we couldn't do it without you all. So I'm gonna, Diego, you've got something there? You come bearing gifts?
I've got something.
Okay.
Maybe not what you need, but
All right.
we'll do this for today. Thank you, Tyrone. My name is Diego Cruz, representing the office of Congressman Jim Costa. It's an honor to be here today at this milestone event for our city with our mayor today and Councilman Arias. And for the Housing Authority, chipping away at our housing crisis here in the city and in the county. So with that, it's an honor to present a certificate of special congressional recognition to the Mosiac at the Mural District, Fresno Housing and BOB Builders, in honor of your groundbreaking ceremony and commitment to providing safe, equitable, and vibrant housing opportunities here in our community. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay.
For you.
Oh, right there. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, look, you gonna take a photo of it?
Here we go.
Oh, okay. I love it.
Thank you, David.
All right, thank you,
Tyrone.
David. Thank you. David, you're next.
Good morning, everyone. David Santos with Senator Ana Caballero's office. Just really elated to be here and seeing, the growth of downtown Fresno, the vibrancy. We applaud the cross-sector partnerships, Mr. Williams' stewardship at the Housing Authority, and, just really commend the city of Fresno and the partners for meeting people where they're at. So on behalf of the State Senate and Senator Ana Caballero, we celebrate this accomplishment and look forward to the work ahead. Thank you all very much.
Let's take a photo with your little, okay, it matches your tie. There you go. All right, thank you. All right, come, please.
Good morning, everyone. Itzi Robles with Assemblymember Dr. Joaquin Arambula's office. It's really an honor being here to present this certificate of recognition for this groundbreaking. But I think one of the biggest takeaways for me personally seeing this event happen is those of us who grew up here in Fresno, and I remember walking the neighborhoods. I went to Hippity Middle School, not that far away, but it wasn't uncommon for us to see human trafficking happening in front of us. And whether we recognized it as such, being in school or not, it was happening. And a lot of my friends were victims of human trafficking. And to know that I made it out of that and I'm okay and I'm able to raise a family here in Fresno, I know that our parents were doing the best they could to provide a safe home for us. But I think affordable housing for us usually meant roach infested, it meant unsafe conditions. And to see a project like this that's affordable housing, that's gonna be something that's beautiful and that the families are gonna be able to feel pride in those homes means so much. It really does. And so thank you to all of those who played a role, Councilman Arias, in making this happen, Mayor, because you are really gonna be very impactful in individual lives that now will be able to have something that they're proud of. And so I thank you so much for that, and I appreciate you guys opening this space for us to be here. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we got The one with the white T-shirt. All right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to invite Mike back up, and in just a few minutes, we're going to grab some sludge hammers.
Yes, but before we
Okay.
invite folks to
Okay.
start the sludge hammering, Mr. Williams, if you could come over, we're going to do a little unveiling of the rendering here.
So we're going to follow Mike's instructions. There'll be plenty of time for everyone who's here to get a photo. But we're going to follow Mike and Christine's instructions.
All right, Christine's in charge. Thank you.
Of course, I'm in charge of the demo part. So we're going to ask our speakers to join our representatives up at the front over here where the doors are. You'll see that there are orange lines. We're going to take turns with this photo op. The orange lines are where you're going to actually hit to be safe. Make sure you wear a helmet. You all can join for the photo op if you'd like. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take some photos. We're going to pose. We've got Kendall, we've got news crews, we've got everybody here. Commissioner Williams, there you are. Yes. Well, that one went fast. All right, just to be clear, the first shot is pretend. All right, 3 groups of 3 at the door. Don't hit it yet. All right, pose, don't hit, and then look back at the camera. Woo! Yes! All right, thank you everyone for that. And please feel free to get photo ops. No more hitting though, because we are out of doors. Oh, not that one. Fresno Housing staff for a photo op. Everyone, feel free to mingle while we're doing photo ops. Before you head out, we have some amazing cookies over here, over by the stairs. On behalf of Better Opportunities Builders, City of Fresno, and Fresno Housing, and all of our amazing partners, thank you for your support and partnership. And we can't wait to welcome our residents to their new homes. Yes. Thank you, Elliot.